have with me in the studio one of our very own. He happens to be a very, very loyal guest of New Generation. He is very strong, objective, and very passionate about youth activism. Now, he is in the person of Mr. Scofray. Yes, so by now, I'm sure you'd have probably guessed, yes, the cameras are panning to him. Scoff.
Yeah.
As a saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's been a while we've seen you on set. We heard you got married.
Well, it's a rite of passage. So when the time is due, you just have to sail through and make it happen. And it's always a delight to be on New Generation to serve mother and country.
Congratulations to you from all of us.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's nice knowing that I have support of New Generation.
So, Scofray, I do realize that you have written a book quite recently. Quickly, just take me. What inspired you to write that book? You call it The Art of Life. Let's talk about that quickly.
Yeah, Art of Life. It just happened that I started putting some materials together, starting somewhere, I think 2001.
Right.
And life is a journey. So as you move on, you learn a lot of things, having gone through several forums, several seminars, being trained by international trainers around the world. You need to make sure that whatever you've learned, you put it into writing for others to benefit from what you do. But Art of Life is a particular kind of book that is not just motivational, but it's transformational. It brings to bear your personality, your leadership skill. Many a times we go through school, we are given the requisite skill per our profession, but no institution is actually training the personality. No institution in this country, and I don't know of in Africa now, that trains the personality. Whilst other countries are spending so much money in training personalities, not the skill you need, not what you've acquired from school, but your personality, being impeccable with your word, the ability to keep your time, understanding who you are as a leader. Everybody is born a leader, but if you are not able to harness your type and even understanding your kind of leadership, that is why we have Africa falls of leaders and we don't have proficient leaders. It's because if you find a talkative in the midst of doing calculation, if you find one who is good at calculating things, talking, you realize that there is imbalance of leadership skill. But this book gives you the ability to harness your personality and your leadership skills.
Talking about having leadership skills, I think that really in every problem it is a shared responsibility. We ourselves must learn and nurture the skills of leadership. Don't you think so? We don't need to wait for leaders to be leaders to us ourselves. We can be leaders in our own small way.
That is absolutely true. Like I said in the book, if we all are to come to understanding that we are born with different gifts, okay, and that we are all leaders in our own unique way. The book says that we have 4 quadrants of leaders. Those, the promoters, the analytics, the supporting staff, the controllers. This is facet of leadership, and we all are one of this quadrant or 2. Okay, it's just that we cannot have 2 captains. So when all these leadership skills are put together, somebody somehow must coach, which we will call the leader. And mostly the one who is sort of in charge of the leaders, we call the person leader. But in a real sense, you are just shepherding all kinds of leaders together to achieve a particular goal. So we shouldn't sit down. We are all born leaders, whether you like it or not. There is something intrinsic that makes you a leader. And we all must put those leadership traits on board. We converge to a particular point. We will perform wonders. It's not magic.
So talking about an all leadership convergence, then let me tap your mind on what is happening in the Volta region right now, the violence happening. A comment on that.
It's unfortunate. It must be condemned. It's not something that we should sing praises over. As a matter of fact, we should rather be serious about the whole issue. Listen, we are moving from an old dispensation into a world where we want to live in peace. Amazingly, this country called Ghana is facet of tribes. And we can live together not because of the language we speak, but because we first of all fellow humans. That is the first thing. We must have that understanding. First of all, we are humans, not the dialect, not the religion. It is what gives you and I the right to coexist. Yes, absolutely. We are social beings and we live because others are living. So if you think that we don't share the same religion, understanding. We don't share the same dialect. We don't even share the same culture. And you think for that reason we can be separated. You are doing more harm than good, because it's like a chain. If I'm fair, you are dark. It is what gives us the facet of the beauty of nature. We can coexist. Look, there are different kinds of tigers. They live together.
Scofray, aside ethnicity being a problem and many others, do you also think that communication could be a problem? Because here in your book, you have written that there is this quote, the way we communicate with others and with ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Do you think that that is what is coming to bear in the Volta region right now as we speak?
Absolutely. Sometimes we take communication to be only verbal chit-chatting, but it goes beyond verbal. It transcends our quality of life, like the coach rightly put it. We must be able to communicate or be able to relate. Communication is not just only talking. Communication is vast, like the book will detail to you. It is relationship. You understand? How well have these people lived together? That one day something could happen that we must pick machetes and butcher the same person that once upon a time you ate from the same bowl with. It is communication. How well was the person able, let's take it when the body was dad, the one who found it first. What was his posture? How was he able to calm himself down? It is a communication ability, the ability to look at challenges in the face and say, I'm toning down, I'm coming down, to be able to relate. And when you take decisions in the haste like this, the result is what we are saying, chaos. And how well do we consistently train or share the knowledge of the ability to communicate effectively? And we are talking about effective communication here, because if the youth, somebody somewhere was able to calm them down using all the communication ability the person has or possesses, I don't think things would have gone into this extent. Or the other side, if they said, well, if you've hit one, we will hit two. It is lack of communication. It is not just the ability to talk or pick phone. No, the ability to relate to the issue, the ability to bring a full stop when it calls for anger, when it calls for intemperate actions and stuff. That is where communication comes to bear. And I'm saying it boils down to communication. Their inability to handle the challenge that...
but then again, Scofray, looking at the police and the judiciary on the side of the people, do you think that we have lost track of the rule of law? Do you think we've lost respect for it? We've lost regards for it?
I've been one of the few people that think that this system called law, the whole system called law, or the modern system called law that we are practicing, does not have the people, the indigenes, our way of pursuing justice. It does not enshrine it. It does not. It is like you pick somebody's way of bringing justice to bear and you impose it to the people. So as we speak, the natural Ghanaian have not accepted what we call this judicial system. Some revere their kings even than the law. You understand? So how, if we're able to enshrine how we really go into issues when they arise, then we would have been able to tame them better. Now, the person who is carrying machete knows that on the natural law side, what I'm doing is wrong, fine. But there were means that they used to bring all these challenges together. A king sits in his throne with his elders, and whoever was involved in a particular untoward action is brought, and they take that time. But we did not, though they were able to document things like the normal court system today is doing, they were able to bring justice to the people. So I believe that we must all be up and doing when it comes to the judicial system and the security. Let us not take human beings for granted. I've always been saying this on platform that the patience
as much as we, the people, shouldn't take our security and the judiciary
for granted. But I've been saying that sometimes there is a notion Ghanaians have. Ghanaians are tolerable. They are accommodating. And I've been saying the rate, if you take it 0 to 10, the rate at which Ghanaians are tolerable, it is the same magnitude that they can be intolerable. So until you understand that the probability of the person being tolerable is also high as the person is tolerable, let's begin to safeguard that when it goes to the extreme and they move from 0 to the negative 10, how do we handle it? Let us move from that understanding that Ghanaians are accommodating. No. How long can a person accommodate you for a particular time. The person might break up. But when the person is about to break up, what are the measures in place? So we must all come together, the security system, the judiciary, and we must have the zeal to speak the truth, just to save a whole community. We must have the political will as well to speak the truth and put square pegs in square openings.
Right.
You understand? If
Holes but openings.
Yeah, we should make sure that if somebody fall foul,
Right.
don't shelve the person, because if you do that,
Absolutely.
the other person who has been victimized, that moment to tell you, yes, I agree, it's okay, that person will tell the child the story. That is what is happening in the Arab world. That person will tell the story that so and so's father did this to our father, and if that child is not full of temperance, so it's bigger than we see it, and whatever is happening now is a good news. Let us learn from it. Let me put it that way. It's a good news. Let's learn from it.
Right.
Because it could be dangerous coming to 7th December.
Well, thank you very much, Scofray. And should you want a book of Scofray, where can we get a book of yours to buy?
Delcam Bookshop, Adenta and Medina, Bachuna Total.
Okay.
Then there's a gentleman behind the BAM Library, University of Ghana, Legon.
Scofray has been overly kind today, and he has given away 2 of his books. And so, Scofray, you give out the word.
To the best 2 contributors on Facebook in connection
Today.
with New Generation, those who make the best of submissions.
If you have been a contributor or you are not, well, today is your day to get a book from Scofray. It is The Art of Life, quite intellectual, quite knowledgeable. Let me hear from you on Facebook, and rest assured that I will do my diligence and give you the book if, well, you're the best amongst everybody. Just 2. I've got just 2 books to give away.
Yeah.
Scoffs, thanks for passing through.
Thank you
always.
for having me. Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we'll see you around
That's true.
soonest.
That's true.
I'll be back after this break. Next, when I come back, I'll be reading our Facebook comments. Stick around.